Hello, my name's Adam. Welcome to the Fighting Fantasy series. In this episode, we're going to be looking at the 10th anniversary yearbook of the Fighting Fantasy novel, which came out 10 years after the original one did. This one came out in 1984, so one can only assume this one came out in 1994. I'll just double check myself, to be honest. And it says first published in 1992, so yeah, okay. It's a part diary, part game book, okay? I've not actually, again, read this book, okay? I'm not a big reader of these additional stories. I'm more a reader of the series themselves. So I'll read the back of this and we'll look inside, and then that'll be that, and we'll move on to the next video. Okay, so what it says on the back here, it says, gathered together in one book, all the meanest monsters, vilest beasts, and the cruelest conquerors. Where did they come from? Where are they going? All is revealed in this yearbook. Titan, a land for only the bravest adventurers, a land of legend, epic battles, and heroic deeds. Maps, hints on play, and a special solo game are all here for those who seek adventure. Part diary, part gamebook, part guide. This is the essential reading for any Fighting Fantasy fan. Fighting Fantasy, the world's most popular adventure gamebook series, compiled and edited by Mark Gascoigne. So it's got an adventure inside of it, just like the Fighting Fantasy introduction. And it, like what it says, it's a yearbook. It sort of details more the world of Titan and sort of introduces that rather than the mechanics of the game system itself, which his predecessor did. It kind of takes snippets from the book Titan, which will go in a future episode. But it more plots out, it more fleshes out the world of Titan. And it does have things in here that aren't in the Titan book as well. So I haven't read it, but I'm going to read it. And I'll give you my thoughts on it in a future episode. And this one, I would say, I'm not jazzed. I'm not excited to get through this. But if you are a fan, like a hardcore fan of Fighting Fantasy, you'll have read this already. And you'll know instantly the joy that you get with this, you know. I have only flicked through it. I've got to be honest with you. I've only flicked through it. But it is one that I'll be reading in the future. So that's this mini episode. This is part 2 of the 3-part sort of introduction to Fighting Fantasy. Incidentally, what does one need to play these games? I keep saying that they're games, but how? Well, like I mentioned in the introductory episode, dice. You need a couple of dice. 2 6-sided dice are essential for playing, as well as a pencil or a pen and a piece of paper to make a character sheet on. Now, me personally, I prefer a 12-sided dice as well as a 6-sided dice, and I tend to use these 2 when I'm playing a game. And you'll see that when we go in the future and start playing these games, you'll see how I play them. There is something about the original series books, because they've all got 400 entries. So you knew you beat the book when you turned to the 400th page. And I tell you, how many people would cheat is unbelievable. You'd get to a section and it would say turn to page 383. You'd keep your finger there. So turn to page 303 just to see, do I die? No, okay, carry on. Turn to page 2, so we go all the way back to 2, and then it's like, keep my finger in that one as well, just in case this one's a death, so I can get rid of that one. And I tell you, people would just cheat all over the place to get through the book, because, to be honest, they want to read the whole book without dying, but the whole point of it is a game, and if you die, you die. You got to start from the beginning, guys, no cheating, but a lot of people did cheat. So, yeah, the Fighting Fantasy, for me, I started it in the early 90s. I didn't get it through. I was living in America in the 80s, so I didn't hear about Fighting Fantasy at all. I heard about Dungeons and Dragons, but I didn't hear about Fighting Fantasy until I came back. The year I came back, they released a book called Dungeoneer, which we will review in a future episode. That was my first book I ever got. So That's just a little personal side note. Anyway, in the next episode, we're going to be looking at the Riddling Reaver. As always, leave your comments and questions below, and if you've got a top 10, please leave them below for a future episode. Take care, adventurers, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.